Playboy is here. Oh, hi, Sammy. What's up?
Konami.
Pizza with the teens and an episode of Riverdale. Living your best life. Holy Moses. Ah. Another J. Martin. What is going on, my friend? How is your Wednesday, Thursday going? Konami. 13 seconds, not a problem. The J. Martin says, oh, hi. My Wednesday is good, almost over. Dog threw up at 2:30 a.m. and I was up for 2 hours after that, so dead tired. Woo, that's rough. That's rough. That's rough like dog. Ralph, 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 Ralph. Ralph, Ralph. Happy birthday, girl. Oh, hi, I brought the dirty martinis. Who wants one? Sign me up. Give me a glass and make it as dirty as possible. Oh, excited to learn. No, excited. Oh, another J. Martin is excited to learn about this game. Never heard of it. Very good. We're going to dive into this and a couple of other things that are adjacent to it. I knew about the game, thanks to some other people, but I never had played it until last night. And man, did I have a blast. Making it up, shooting up the charts. Up the charts with a bullet. Up the charts with a mullet. And we got some extra games tonight too. We got Cowboys of Moo Mesa as well. We may look at the Genesis version. I don't think we looked. Yeah, we took a look at the Genesis version last night, didn't we? Did a little bit before Tank Girl is Christina Aguilera dirty with 3 R's, which I can't roll. And about 12 olives. Olive the other reindeer. All right, let's take a look here. All right, how did we do last night on our retro achievements? I think we did okay. We did a few. Yeah, looks like we did some stuff. Look at that. All right. All right, J. Martin says, damn, that is dirty. Dang, that is dirty, man. Almost ready, just posting some stuff. You know how it is. Right 'em, cowboy. Pew, 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 pew. Ugh. Ugh, I say. All right, there. I think we posted it everywhere. Now we're live, baby. There we go. Oh, got a Twitch pulled up. Get to our channel. Skids. So many quarters, so many tokens. True story. That Jay Martin says it's one of the two kinds of 8-bit music, country and western. Before Tank Girl says places direct people to do so many things. Well, I certainly hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday, Thursday, wherever in the world you are today. We're back for another round. Set up another round of whiskey as we play a little bit more of this arcade classic, Sunset Riders. Well, I'm down to clown. How about you? Love this music. This has got, I think there's a vinyl out for this thing. I think at some point in time, somebody released a Sunset Riders vinyl. If I'm not mistaken, let's find out. Let's just take a look. It's in a book. It's a freaking reading rainbow. And we're reading it. Oh, it's a Sunset Riders 10-inch vinyl soundtrack. Okay, so it's an EP. It's an EP. Mutaki Futawara, it looks like. Oh, look at that. No, I don't want $5 off my next thing. Get out of here. I want to look at the thing. Oh, I sold out. Too bad. Looks like it would be $22. That's reasonable. I mean, I guess for an EP, it's not great, but it's not bad. All right, die cut, it says. Let's look at the Discogs. Ooh, Man of the Wilderness. Accept all the cookies, please. Oh, boy, that was loud. That was way louder than necessary. Oh, it's loud for me, it looks like, not loud for you. All right, let me get this on the... No wonder it's on that... It was feeding out the wrong channel there. There we go. Okay. It's a nice little vinyl record there. Look at that. It looks like it's... Is it clear? Oh, man, I wish I had gotten this. Vinyl A. Side. It looks that. Yeah, another J. Martin. Much better, right? Not too bad. Gons! Yeah, Furukawa. Is that how you say it? Not sure. Let's see how much on eBay if you can pick up one of these things still. Oh, we got a Hades vinyl. That's nice. I'm not actually seeing the vinyl. There it is. It's sold. For 150 bonaroos. Vinyl smoke. Just gonna lay their vinyl smoke right there on the darn. Okay, it's in plastic. Okay, first I thought it's laying it right on their little bedspread there. I'm like, are you crazy? It's got a little thing. Man, nice deal, yeah. Nice deal, yeah. Tank Girl has leveled up to level 5. Get my kick on, get my kick pulled up. Gotta get that, gotta get my YouTube pulled up so I can see the chat there in case anything happens while I'm like some kind of craziness. Let's see. View my channel, thank you. Mere days away from the weekend. It's a short week for us. Short week for me anyway. Before we get into this, let's just take a real quick look at our Sunset Riders achievements here. Not bad on the retro achieves. This is for the arcade version, I believe. Yeah, the UBC arcade, the 2-player Universal, I believe, which is the one they keep, the records they keep. What we didn't get is the station challenge. Oh, complete level 2 with 1 credit and no continues. Oh, hi Skids, how's it going? I have a short week this week and the next 2. That is great. There is one for 1, 2, 3. What did I miss? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. boners. I hardly ever knew her. Short week. Tavern challenge, complete 4. So these are a lot of, it looks like everything that I haven't done looks like is complete things with 1 credit and no continues. And complete final level 1. Yeah, everything's 1 credit. Reach level 4 with 3 or more lives. Cowboy challenge, reach level. Okay, so almost everything else is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. So screw that. All right, so we got to get into this, right? Oh, what's up, on Shay? So happy. Like I said, everybody, welcome in. Oh, hi, I'm your host, and I am Brian Dunaway, and we're about to do some more Sunset Riders at the arcade. So why am I speaking like this when there's only 10 of us, 8 of us here in the chat? I don't know. And the vinyl I see, the auction is still going is 320. Wow, skits. No thanks. I have a short week because I'm partially unemployed. So you started working at didn't you start working? I don't want to dox you. You know where you started working at. I think it's the same place that that Kit is working at, I believe. Man, this white hat is really blowing out my color, isn't it? I mean, I need to flip the hat around. Maybe we'll get a little less. Now you can at least see my face. At least you can see my face now. There you go, Joanne's. We went to Joanne's the other day, but we went to an old Joanne's. All right. I think we want to play. We're just gonna start. We're gonna fire up. We're gonna fire it up. You drop a coin in. Hey, the year is 1991, and you're at the arcade, and you hear a bunch of Wild West going on, right? Maybe you've been playing some other 4-player fighters, maybe some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Hear that Konami sound. Hear this Western music playing. And you mosey on over to this 4-player Western beat 'em up. Side-scrolling Western beat 'em up. Why not? Who do you walk up to? You walk up to my friend Billy. He's probably in slot 2. 8-way joystick, a couple of buttons. Walk up to Bob. Maybe prefer Bob. Or maybe you're a little spicy and you're like, Hermano, huh? What do you think? You're walking up, you pick your player. We go with Steve because we're bland. He does look shady, doesn't he? All right, here we go. Up top, get our reward on for Simon Greedwell. Nice, big, chunky style pixel guys, right? All right, A-way directional. Get you pop in here. Boom. I took a little drink. I got a little drink. Not a problem. Now, one thing I do like about this game, well, first of all, it gives you a couple of power-ups right out of the gate, right? So go ahead and get your power-ups on. Get your little lady here. All right. Another thing I like, too, is it's kind of got like a shooting gallery kind of a vibe as well. Because you got guys hiding behind things. You can shoot barrels and have them drop down. Oh, I'm not falling for that pitchfork thing again. Gets me every time. Not this time, buddy. Okay, so I do recognize this building in the Sega version. Later on, we'll play a Sega version that's not nearly as good, but it doesn't have any hay, and I think it's because see his feet? See his feet in front of that hay? How he's kind of in the hay. So that's a little bit of layering and probably some things you probably couldn't do on a home console, right? Jezebel, what is going on? How are you doing from the YouTube side? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, Jezza. What is going on, Jez? We're just playing it's not really the first time anymore because I played last night I played Sunset Riders, but this week is the first time I've ever played Sunset Riders, other than just like firing the game up and going, what's this game? This game is weird. I'll have to come back to it. Oh boy, I almost got smacked. But how's it been going? How's your week been? Oh, you've been playing some Mafia 2 for the first time. Nice. I don't have time to pick it up. It's blowing up soon. I have time. Look how great. The arcade just looks so good. This is the same board that they used on the Turtles 2 game. The also 4-player beat 'em up, side-scrolling beat 'em up. Love the run. Oh shoot! I lost all my power-ups because I forgot about the gap. Forgot about the gap. Let's got one back already. Okay, so I can shoot. I got it. So what do you think about Mafia 2? Did you ever play Mafia 1 or are you jumping straight in? You know, before Tank Girl, man, I gotta watch out for them chickens. Just a couple of chickens. I think I just fell out, didn't you? Oh my gosh. Did somebody throw the dip switches on difficult? Jesus. Aha. Take one of these and one of these, and I'm gonna do some sliding now. You, and you, and you, and you. Uh-oh. Whoa! Come on out, guy. Come on out. Oh, man. He didn't come out. Okay, all right. Look at that. I finally didn't get squashed by a barrel. I finally no-barreled it. Okay, he's starting to wave out his guys again, so I need to... You see that little wave motion he's doing? He's in this area of boss mode, right? Okay, so if I keep knocking that barrel... Okay, so there we go. So now he won't be calling any more people out. Gotta be careful over here. Oh my gosh, he almost got my feet. There we go, got him. Ah, I didn't have no options. Ah. Jez says, I just finished Mafia 2 if I want to play. Oh, yeah. I want to play all three. You should totally play all three. Avian, what is going on? Welcome in. Happy Wednesday, Thursday, wherever in the world you are. Do it. Hope it's a great day, morning, night, whatever it is. I know this. All everybody wants to talk about is the weather. You know why? Because it's gone from too darn hot.
Bury me with my money.
Bury me with my money. Always love the one-liners. Bury me with my mummy. Right, Ann Kurtz? It never sounds like the thing you think it sounds like. It never sounds like that. Jez says, I remember when my friends and I rented Sunset Riders for the SNES and we played it until 4 a.m. That is a great game. Did you have 4 players? I was looking recently. I have an SNES. It has 2 ports, right? Because they didn't get the 4 port built in until they got to the N64, right? The N64 had 4 ports, right? Is that right? I think so. Until then, you would get adapters. Yeah, because yeah, that's right. 4 on the N64, and then the GameCube had 4 as well. NES had 2, and the Super NES had 2, but you could buy the adapters to play up to 4. So did you guys, the SNES, did the SNES did 4 player? Oh, it only did 2 players. So the SNES was like based off the second release of the arcade, which was 2 player, but 4 character select, right? So that's pretty cool. That would be great. Staying up till 4 a.m., laughing it up. What was on? Do you remember what was on the menu? Was there a typical for when you and your friends went out and rented the video games? Was there a usual? Like, did you get some Domino's, some Pizza Hut, a local pizzeria? Did you get some subs? What was your thing? What was your thing? Everybody tell me your thing. Tell me your thing. Did you ever rent video games? And if you did, what kind of party? I remember when I started doing game rentals, it was mostly by myself, but occasionally I did rent some with my friend. And we would usually get subs from KO's Pizza and Subs, I believe it was called, a small place in town. and we basically get an Italian sub, and it would come with like the little bag of Lay's potato chips and stuff. And we'd usually watch like Cops and play video games. Definitely Hungry Howie's Pizza, which was right by the rental place. That's great. Now, I only place that rented video games once I started renting video games would have been Blockbuster. And I think Hollywood Video eventually came in, and I think they also rented video games. If I remember correctly, I might be misremembering that. But I remember before that, there was a place called, was it Movie Land? And I don't know if that was owned by the same people, but at one point in time, they rented video game software, like where you could load up on the Commodore 64, like floppy disk and stuff. But thank you. That's great. We had a family video. Very good. Yeah, we had another small mom and pop. I think we had 4 at one time. I think we had 2 small mom and pops in town. And before any of that even happened, way back, it was Curtis Mathis. Curtis Mathis. Oh my God. You're going to rent some. Of course you rented movies. You bought a VCR from Curtis Mathis. You got a microwave for your microwave popcorn for his movie night. You rented a VCR. No, you bought a VCR. Excuse me. You bought the VCR. And then you would rent the videotapes because no one could afford to buy movies at that time. Movies were, on VHS, $100 a pop. Only places that movies were going to were rental places, right? Oh, look at that, man. I did that up good. Oh my gosh, that's the best I've ever done. Little Caesars, Mountain Dew. Yeah, I can't remember if Mountain Dew was on the docket. I remember Jolt Cola occasionally. Some Coca-Cola. Maybe a little Sprite. But Mountain Dew is definitely my jam a little later on. But I think when I was renting video games, I think it was KO subs and maybe just the fountain drink. I think it was just the fountain drink that came with KO subs. Nice little crushed ice and everything. Yeah, that was good. But later on, when I was doing my own thing, during the close to the aughts, oh my gosh, when it was like late 90s and into the early 2000s, it was all about the Mountain Dew, baby. Code Red. When they came out with Code Red, I thought it was the greatest thing that had ever been invented. Airheads candy. Trying to think if we really had Airheads candy that much.
Continue.
Oh. Lots of times our dessert of choice would typically be Whoppers. That was our dessert of choice to go along with our 8,000 calorie subs. Oh, Aurora Visage followed me yesterday, so thank you for that, Aurora. Aurora. I've been following her forever, and we rated in on, so she gave us a follow, so thank you for that. I think it's the first time I rated in a long time, though. Because she's not always necessarily playing the retro games we're playing. I try to keep our, especially if I get raided, because we had a raid in from that girl Joey, amazing streamer, does a lot of Commodore and Amiga stuff, which is my heart, my love. I love me some Commodore. It's where I cut my teeth. Went Commodore, Sega, PlayStation, GameCube. And then once Xbox came along, it was the replacement for Sega, right? We had a ton, Skid says we had a ton of mom and pop rental places in town until Blockbuster Hollywood Videos showed up. Yeah, we didn't have a ton, and none of them survived exclusively off game rentals. Well, that's not true. There was one that did. But they stayed around even once those other places came in town. The other place was like adult rentals and tanning bed. Aha! Dude, this green guy sucks. I hate him so much. He's so freaking fluid. Code Red was huge, says Jezebeli. The kids at my high school would get it before class started and carry it around like a fashion statement. This is my entire personality. Code Red. I was but a young lass in my early or mid 20s in Phoenix, Arizona, and working with Charles Schwab when about the time that Code Red showed up. Awatuki. Fry's Electronics, some Code Red, some Dreamcast a little later on when it became ridiculously cheap. Forward 10 Girl says, I was a Dr. Pepper and Snickers gal. Nothing wrong with that. My mom always liked the Zero bars. Never could figure out if I liked those or if it was just a candy bar of convenience. But man, I love me some Snickers bars. And I was putting all my candy bars in the refrigerator a long time before they thought it'd be cool at the gas stations. Like, oh man, I used to, yeah, like, oh my, Butterfinger? Oh, Butterfinger in the refrigerator. Delicious. Throne! There you go. Snickers is the perfect food. It really is. Snickers, like, it really satisfies. I mean, they'd say that, but it's true. Jez earlier said that Blockbuster was further away, but we go there sometimes. And I worked at Blockbuster for a while when I first got out of high school, which is perfect for me since I loved movies and loved video games. I was able to eat as much as I want, essentially, of that stuff. And so that was great. It was a perfect marriage. Also got to meet one of my lifelong friends who was my manager at the time. A few years older than me. But we've been friends our entire lives. And I went and actually moved to Phoenix. He's the one who got me the job in Phoenix when the IT field was failing here. He was kind enough to get me in out there. Oh, is that Avian? Does Throne still work? Do we still have that turned on? Yeah, why don't I have Throne? I thought I had Throne. I have a Throne account, I believe. Let's go take a look. Did maybe BotRix is not? I'm gonna have to look at my bots. That is a good question. I do have a Throne account, and I don't remember what I put on there. So it's the wish list for creators. So let me see if I can log in. I think you can log in with your Twitch account. Yeah, I think I can. I think I can. And maybe I haven't been on this so long that maybe it's been deactivated. Maybe that's why it's not taking that command. Oh yeah, I have a Throne, and I started purchasing something at one point in time. Crowdfunding this. Here we go. So if you're not familiar with Throne, it's kind of like, instead of going, hey, why don't you give me a hand at raising some moolah so that we can purchase the thing, you can just actually go straight to Throne. And I started adding some stuff because people were asking me, hey, I want to support it, but I would like to do it through Throne if I could, if there's any way I could help you get, I guess they feel like I'm an alcoholic or an addict. And it's like, I know you want food, but I know if I give you, I know you're saying you want food, but if I give you money, you're just going to drink it, I think is what they're saying. So a couple of people did say, you need to have a Throne account. And it is throne.com/Brian Dunaway. And I don't even know if these things are still available. So one of the things you can do is you can go on like eBay. So I guess that's just a one-time purchase. I guess it's not necessarily a particular one. But I looked at a couple of things. Like I was at the time when I was doing the discussion, it was like I was looking to get more and more on my Master System stuff. Man, Master System, I need to get back into it. So that was my first. The Master System was my first video game console. Shinobi. Let's take a look. Do I have it set up over here? Okay, so this is not my. Okay, this is not my neighborhood. Okay, so there's my Sega Genesis over there, hooked up to a little 14-inch CRT. But if you look up there, there's our Sega. That's the Sega baby. There's the Master System. Takes carts, and I got to get that all hooked up proper. That's what I'm actually doing down here, is trying to get everything together. This is my Sega section over here, essentially. I've got my Saturn over here because I was doing some testing, so it's kind of in the messy spot. But I've got pretty much I got everything except for like what the Mark III or whatever it was before it became the Sega. Every Sega console that I can think of that was released in the U.S., excluding the stuff like the Sega CD thing and that. I've got to get all that operational too. But pretty much all the Sega stuff. I'm a Sega kid. Commodore and Sega was my life growing up. There's my little Amiga SE Mini. Or A500 Mini, excuse me. I did order pre-order the ZX, or I don't want to say it wrong, the ZX Spectrum. So the guys who brought you the C64 and the A500, which this little thing I just showed you right here, this little called the A500, it's not a full Amiga 500, it's this little fake keyboard and stuff. But anyway, those guys that made this are also now selling a Brian, before Tank Girl says Brian will spend all his cash on dodgy videos from Goodwill. You got no idea. I mean, let's just take a look at the video wall. Speaking of video rentals and stuff, here's the side of my head. Look at that. There you go. Back there is a wall of videos. Let me see. I'm kind of in the way, I think. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get out of the way enough, but there's plenty of VHSs and DVDs, no Blu-rays and stuff. I've got some more clamshell stuff over here, some Saturday morning cartoon stuff, you know, a little anime. But yeah, I like all the old stuff, right? What you gonna do? Avian says, I feel like I just sent Brian off tension. It doesn't take much. But this is a retro show, right? This is not necessarily, you know, it's not necessarily, you know, just one thing. You know, it's just accidental porn, like before Take Girl says. So let's take a look at this real quick. They've just announced this. So there's the ZX Spectrum. I can never remember the name of this company. Is it called Spec Next? Is that it? No, that's something else. That's nice though. Must be like what is that? Well, there's my good friend, Mr. Steve J, and Pass the Plunger, who might write in on that if he's on and about. Okay, so time extension. Did an article on it. Okay, another announcement. Oh, here's all the freaking games and stuff. Look at that. So this is not a mini, baby. This is a full size The Spectrum, or ZX Spectrum. Comes with some USB ports there, TV, USB-C powered, right? These little keys are rubbery. We didn't really do these in the US. This is more of my UK people. There you go. Look at USK 12. There it is. Peggy 7. Right? Avian says, interesting keyboard. How small? Don't pin him down. He's all retro, baby. You can't tell me what all right. But I did have to, they're not selling this in the US, right? So I had to order it. I had to order this. Oh, look at the little color stuff. I've never been these keys have always interested me. I don't like the really old stuff that had the membrane keyboards. You know what I'm talking about? The ones you kind of like had to push down on the thing. It's not like this has me recoil or anything. It's like a little, almost like a bubble button, bubble butt. But yeah, the ZX was kind of like this in between thing. It had like a little rubber keys essentially. So I don't know how great it would be for typing long term, but yes, but they're a little. I don't think they're quite as clicky as something like. Remember how some of the old phones and stuff were, the old cell phones and stuff. Curious if you have to learn your phone typing. You're right. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's going to kind of be like that. But there's going to be tons of games on here. Alien Girl, Ant Attack. So a whole bunch of games that I've kind of looked at, you know, just at the side of my eye. But I've always been interested in getting a Specky, as my friends over the pond say, the Specky ZX. But that's just ordered that today. It was around $130. So, you know, not super cheap, but you know, Oh, so yeah, Sector 7, that's a good comparison. When I talk about those kind of those membrane buttons, those little bubble button things, think of the Intellivision type controller, right? Not a big fan. But anyway, what was I doing? All right. So this is an interesting little section here. If you got 4 players, you'll notice I'm player 1. And you're just kind of, this is where the shooting gallery kind of comes in, right? I'm actually curious if they didn't, like in the early planning stages of this game, because Konami was like having huge success with like their 4-player beat 'em ups, right? So they were like, oh, need to make more of these, baby. So how about a shooter? Some Western type stuff, you know, and you know, you might with Mad Dog McCree or something. This thing, right? Get your little, get your guns out, get your shooting gallery out. So they kind of found this nice little way of mixing in 4-player beat 'em up action, but as a shooter, more Contra-like. Yeah, I guess maybe more Contra-like. So you got your little Contra action going on here. Somewhere between a beat 'em up and a shooter. Side-scrolling, baby. Nope. Got out of there just in time. See the guy over here hiding. No, see there's like the shooting gallery stuff. See, like, shoot this little rock here. Flatten that guy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, there's a pitchfork. I see you there, buddy. Oh no, ooh, almost did it. I see a guy. Oh, it's a gal. It's a gal. Thought it was a guy. I was thinking that was the house phone ringing. Too Dark Stevie, you so need to play this. It's so freaking good. What does that say up there? Something men, road men? Hotel? Oh, there's gonna. That's gas. That's gas. This is always hard here because you got a lot of stuff coming in at you. And if they get one of these bullets off, oh, you're screwed if he gets a bullet off, which is no place to go. One up, Steve. Cowboy plus a gun. I'm in. My friends have returned from the Dragon Con and are still enjoying the energy that is the Dragon Con buzz. Super jealous. There we go. Oh, I need this. I need what you got, buddy. There it is. The silver marshal instead of the gold marshal. I know. I need to go. Dragon Con! You in heap big trouble. Don't care for that. So I don't know why he's got to give us the Indian speech here, right? Or the Indian, I said Indian, Native American speech. But it's not really Native American because Native Americans don't say that. That's the reason why. That's the reason why it's confusing. Because the things that are portrayed here don't actually exist.
Please continue.
Oh, Bill and his brother are always great times at the Dragon Con. Those guys know how to have fun. Those guys know how to have fun. They got in trouble, so they had to shift it around. Taz! Was this a community suggested game? It was, Taz. Absolutely was. I had never played it before other than to fire it up and go, nope, this isn't my kind of game, I don't think. I was wrong. This is totally my type of game. It's like, why don't I just play Contra and be done with it? Oh, shoot, he was on to me. That's your mind cannon, you're sticking with it, says Hafian. Oh, he's red now.
Me in heap big trouble.
I don't understand why he is shirtless in big trouble.
You all right, ma'am?
Oh, those terrible men. Please help.
Those terrible man.
All right, ma'am. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. But that's it, man. This is how it goes.
We're gonna blow you away.
All right, so this is an amazing game, right? We've been playing this. This is the arcade version. We were playing the 4-player setup, which allows me to pick any of the guys. There was also a 2-player version that came out at the arcade. This is the one that you want to play if you want to get retro achievements on retroachievements.org. I am mission deep over there. Do it. Now, there was a couple of things. Mystic Warriors came out in 1993. So the Sunset Riders came out in 91, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. These are all Konami jams, and they're all beat-em-ups. 4-player beat-em-ups, which later became 2-player selectable beat-em-ups. All right. 93 is considered the spiritual successor of Mystic Warriors. So we went from cowboys and Native Americans to ninjas and guys in bicycle helmets. I think it's mostly street battles, I believe, but it's kind of it's got kind of a shinobi feel, but it's still within that whole range there. Okay, maybe it's construction guys versus ninjas, and then ninjas with guns. I want to watch a movie. I want to watch a really bad movie called Ninjas with Guns. Is that a thing? Is there a movie called Ninjas with Guns? That feels like ninjas don't use guns, right? The Foot does. Here, I'm gonna ask. Oh, wait. You know what? I could Google it. Sure. I could Google. But that's for chumps. I am going to chat GPT and find out. Hey, chat GPT. Do ninjas use guns? Question mark. Let's just find out. Historically, ninjas, or shinobi, in feudal Japan were known for their skills in espionage, guerrilla tactics, and stealth. They typically used traditional weapons like swords, katana or short swords, shuriken, throwing stars, blowguns, and various other tools designed for stealth and efficiency. Firearms weren't widely available in Japan until the mid-16th century. Well, I'm not talking about real ninjas, fool. I'm talking about funny TV ninjas when European traders introduced them. Even then, guns were bulky, slow to reload, and noisy, which is the opposite of what ninjas, which didn't align well with the ninjas' emphasis on stealth and silent operations. That said, it's possible that later era ninjas could have used firearms, especially after guns became more common. However, core of ninja tactics revolved around stealth, in close quarter combat rather than the loud and less precise use of early firearms. In modern depictions, like in movies or video games, ninjas are sometimes shown using guns. But this is more of a fictional or stylistic choice, rather than a reflection of historical practice. I should have asked, are ninjas real? Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa was released in 1992. That's right, Sector 7. So, here is the lineage. Sector 7 is correct. So, you got your Sunset Riders, right? Which was riding on the tails of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4-player action. Konami wanted some more of that. The developers behind Sunset Riders were they were approached with the idea of turning the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa into a video game, and they guided that development team into this game, which is Cowboys of Moo Mesa, and we'll play just a minute or two of it. At first, I thought it was going to be a reskin, but it's really something different. I mean, it's definitely a different team and everything. And then, in the meanwhile, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 came out, and actually the Sunset Riders and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 are both on the same type of system board at the arcade. Mystic Warriors later came out in 1993. Now, there was a sequel that was canceled that was going to be Sunset Riders 2. And there is a project currently going on that is some modders are creating a arcade precise or arcade close as perfect as it can get version for the Sega Genesis, because the Sega Genesis did not get a very true to arcade form. Sunset Riders is different. It's different. All right. See, there's Ninja right now, dude. Oh, look, it's hilarious because, all right, so ChatGPT. So let's take a look here. So ChatGPT over here. She do some things, y'all. So ChatGPT, oh, you can't see it. Anyway, at the bottom of the ChatGPT, it says this because it's got suggested prompts. Like, what do you want to do? What else would you like to look up? It says, do ninjas still exist? And what are ninja tools? What are ninja tools? Traditional role of the ninja shinobi is just to fuel Japan's spies, saboteurs, and assassins trained in stealth. Image ninja. All right. So there's your little ninjas. You little ninjas. So I got a question for the chat. Many of you already support me by subscribing here on Twitch, by joining my Patreon, which is patreon.com/Bryant Dunaway. You also support me on Play Retro through their Patreon there. You guys dedicate your time on the Discord server. You hang out here. That's important as well. You guys spread the word. There's so many ways you guys help me out. I do appreciate it. Sometimes people even ask me if there's PayPal or something. And for a while, people were even asking me, can I pay you in cryptocurrency? So people are always trying to look for a way to help support our community, because that's what I'm just the figurehead, right? Everything that I get from support, I put right back into our community and getting more retro crap that we can look at. Because you know why? I don't want to, I like reviewing retro equipment, but I don't want to be beholden to companies that are sending us review crap. So I just don't. It's much better if as a community we can get our own things, make our own choices, and make decisions about it. And it's so much better that way. But someone has asked me before, what do I think about Throne? Obviously, I set one up. Is anyone still interested in doing a Throne thing, or is that just a throwaway? I don't even know if anybody ever used it. Yeah, damn the man. Because like I said, like whenever you guys do anything that comes in towards me, and I'm just like the secretary of, I'm the secretary. I'm not more than the secretary too. I do, help guide things, but it's always informed by the community. I'm the figurehead. I'm just at the front, breaking up the ice, but you guys are the engine. You guys get all this stuff done. So, and I love it. I love it. All right. Let's look at Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. This is the EAB version for the arcade. And the reason why we went with this one, this is the FB Neo version. And you'll notice right there, boom, got some achievements, some retro achievements. So you have to have very specific ROMs to be able to do it, for it to be able to it's like you can't have one ROM and go, oh, we're all even. We're not. Y'all gonna have the same glitches. Look at this. Such great cartoon stuff, man. Boom. There's your Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Pew. Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Well, I was going to throw you food. Perfect, Avian. I'll take food as well. Anything that keeps the engine going. Now can I ask a tangent question again? Suggestions on where to go learn how LLMs actually work, says Avian. Well, that's a great question. We won't get too far off, but that is a great question. Let me think for a second here. I started looking at this Now I'm more of a user of what they've got right now, but I did originally install ChatGPT as a local untrained application. Guess that's what you would call it. And trained it on my own information. Just to see how it would do. I wanted to see what was already built into the pre-baked. Wow, this looks a lot like the other game, doesn't it? Oh yeah, Aving, absolutely. I think to me like AI and ChatGPT is has a very specific use for me. It's mostly writing emails and organizing my show notes. So I write in like a free form, which allows me to go a lot faster. And I've fed in and trained the ChatGPT bot. So I actually subscribed to the ChatGPT so that I have like the developer side tools. Was it OpenAI? And I think it's like $24 a month. And so it allows me to train stuff on my stuff. So I don't usually use ChatGPT like, to like pull, just random data unless it's for funsies like that ninja thing. That was just funny. I mostly use it to go, be a podcaster taking show notes for my ChatGPT engine. Then I feed it in like my show notes I've been using for years and say put it in this format, and then I'll go like, this week we're doing this thing from this year, and then I kind of like free write, and then it organizes all of it for me, and then all I can do is copy and paste it. That's the best thing for me for AI. I don't do too much beyond that. I just trying to take the tedium out of the tedious stuff, right? Right, Two Orcs TV. I love running a local AI for dumb stuff. Exactly. So as an editor, yeah, but that's mostly what I use mine for. Basically, like if I don't feel like, I'm like, I don't want to go look up what's the proper format, what's the proper writing format for this, and I'm like, I don't want to go look it up, and then I want to go freaking to Word and look through a freaking million templates and all this other crap. I don't want to do all that. So I just as simple as just telling ChatGPT, saying, shoot off an email as a request for something, or shoot off an email to do whatever. That's where the thing shines. It takes all the stupid work out. To me. Nobody got time for that crap. Tudork says, I haven't write my podcast summaries because it's generic and dumb, and I hate doing it. Yeah. And so sometimes I'll do stuff like that. I might like get like a brief description, and I'll punch it up. Right? I'll be like, because it talks in very generic terms, which is good because you don't want it to be stealing someone's style. But then I just, take the basic sentence structure and then I punch it up for stuff that I like. But it writes out the big chunks of it, so you don't have to freaking sit there and, da. That to me is the proper way. What I don't like about AI is, I like the enhancement stuff too. Like I was looking at some pictures. I was looking at some screenshots from an old TV show that I used to watch, right? But the picture was so bad. It was just, it was so pixelated and trashy, and I couldn't find a good picture. And nobody's. Oh, we got dash. Okay, there we go. But basically, there was no good pictures of it, and it's something that's old and arcane. And I was like, I need to get this punched up. So I went to a couple of AI places that were supposed to enhance, and I did not like this part. They had an enhancement where you can make it larger, zoom and enhance, and that kind of stuff. But then they had one that was watermark removal. And I was like, what? I'm like, dude, do not remove watermarks. I mean, that ain't cool. That's blatant. I mean, that is literally going... I mean, you could do it. People do it all the time. But that's rude. Two Dark says, kiddo time. Catch y'all later. Have fun. Thank you so much, Two Darks. Habit says, if you're interested in how it works, it would start with a simpler AI system. Yeah, ChatGPT is pretty complicated. But I've programmed for a really long time, so a lot of it makes sense to me. I spent like about 6 months learning, just learning what AI could do and couldn't do and how it was getting this information. I just did basic stuff, looking at it, understanding it, reading documents. Because I wasn't interested in doing it. I wasn't really interested in, I wasn't really interested in getting down to the deep, the down and dirty of it. I'm not a computer scientist. I'm not a computer scientist. I'm a programmer at best, a scripter, a coder maybe. I just need things to do things. I need automation. So I have more time to do cool stuff. Like this, like playing video games. Where's he at? Oh, here he is. Oh, wow. Is he... I don't believe it. Just a man what does things, yo. Terry in Cowtown. Let's rodeo, baby. Let's rodeo. Got some ground beef achievement. Look at that. But as you can tell, little cross between... There's some April, right? Come save me. Well, they really wanted to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, didn't they, for cows? But they were cowboys. There's a lot of influences here. Man, I love this old style work, though. Yahoo! Wait a minute, I think that was the same. That's the same. The Yahoo sound, though, is the same thing as from the other one, right? Why cowboy and not cowman, right? It's a good question. Same formula, though, right? I mean, we have our little run through town, essentially. And then we got like we got a little. This is totally Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too, right? You have like this, you break up the flow. Interesting. This looks like it's only a 3-player. Is this 3-player only? This may have only been 3-player. Okay. Why is he floaty? It's a great question. Taz says it makes me think why there aren't more cowboy games. Why not more cowboy games? Say why not more? All right, so what we're covering this week. Matter of fact, let me pull up my Play Retro show notes now. As a matter of fact, I said that sounded incorrect. Play Retro show notes, but I think it came out as Play Retro show nuts. That's not right. Show nuts, Shay. See, Shay caught it. Oh my. Freudian slippo. Sunset Riders 1991 arcade. So this is let me show you this real quick if you can give it crap. So here's our Play Retro show notes right here, right? This is how it starts each week. I start filling in the form, baby. Start filling in the form. So I got a lot to do between now and Friday morning, right? Got a lot to do. Got to fill in some of this stuff tonight when we get through streaming here. And tomorrow night be filling out the rest of it, and maybe a little bit Friday morning as well. Doe's nuts, but we're covering this week's Sunset Riders to make sure I played all the games I said I would. I played the 1991 arcade, both 2-player and 4-player. Got a good bit of play on that. I played a little bit of the SNES, and then I played a little bit of the Genesis version. We just played the Moon Mesa. I played a little bit of the Mystic Warriors. These are just dimensions. We'll just kind of mention these. I got a little backstory on them. But primarily, we're going to be covering these two right here, the arcade version and the ports. Not much to say about the SNES port because it's pretty close to the arcade version, and that's pretty much it. Now, one thing I am going to mention, probably going to talk about it in our little known stories and facts, is going to talk about that canceled Sunset Riders game. So let's see. Sunset Riders canceled game. I think it was 2. So Sunset Riders, blah, blah, blah. I didn't spell canceled right. You've been canceled. In Sunset Riders, Harmono swaps this. Yeah, we know that part. Oh yeah, Unseen 64 is awesome. I don't know if you've ever been to this site. This is pretty cool. Got Hidden Palace. That's also a great one. But man, you don't know the number of, just the sheer number. Oh, what is this? Zorro. Iron. Okay. ACA, Sunset Riders launching. Hyper Sports Art cancel. What is this? Okay, all Sunset Riders games. Okay, what does Nintendo had to say? I said I agree already. Okay, so it's those 2 parts. Okay. Arr, arr. Now there was a Sunset Riders game. Come on, where you at? Maybe Hidden Palace has it. So let's take a look at hiddenpalace.org. It's not an adult site. So let's see. Sunset Riders. Okay, so PAL prototype. I wonder if this was... Image missing doesn't really say much, does it? Build name. 93. The fact that it's coming out in 93. What's this going to be on? EEPROM cartridge. Ownership, Paul? Oh, okay, so it was going to be a Sega Mega Drive version. Okay. Liar! Liar! I am a liar. Yeah, I am a liar. I'll pull your wings off. No, what's that to go? How's the song go? Sunset Riders 2. Let's just see. I think this is called Sunset Riders 2. Aha, here we go. Oh, maybe this is a game idea. What is this? Game Ideas Wiki. Brand new ride. What is this? This is not what I was thinking. It's a side-scrolling running gun shooter game developed by Madman Ninja Studios. What is this? Is this like a reboot, maybe? Sega vs. Capcom. Established 99. That'd be much later, wouldn't it? Corporate structure. Okay, now I'm not so sure. This is the only place I'm seeing this information. Developed by and released by Konami as a sequel to the classic Sunset Riders. They didn't spell it right. Sunst. Released for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. That's not true. This is sus. Brand new ride. Western Visions, Konami. Unreal Engine 4. Game which is set. Very sus. Yeah, see, this is all kinds of stuff. Sinclair user gave it an... Oh, this is not... This is very sus. I think we got some bullshit out here. Wait a minute. Sunset Riders 2. Oh, what is this? This is a video, it says. Konami! This just looks like Sunset Riders to me, baby. Alright. I think that's just bullshit. Oh, wait a minute. Konami made a Switch exclusive sequel to Sunset Riders. Is there just always this bullshit? Part of this, yes, fifth playable character added. What is all of this lies? She speaks the bullshit. Yes, Brian is bullshit. What is going on? This is 5 years ago. No idea what Sunset Riders is. If you're programmed by sub. Oh, they at least released Sunset Riders in the meantime. Was this the planned game that got canceled? Okay, how would you feel if they made a sequel? Ah, so this just seems like game pitches. Let me just look at the Wikipedia, see if there's anything down here. Super NES, contemporary game listed. They're most successful Sinclair users. Oh, see, that was what he said earlier on the other site. They just stole from here, I guess. Retrospective. Okay, so yeah. So the things we're covering is in here. Mystic Warriors and the Wild West Cow. So see also. So I think it was some bull stank. I think I got some bad details. That's why you always have to go back and make sure and cross-reference and not just use ChatGPT because it will lie to you. So yeah, that's why you do it. Just pure bullshit, looks like. All right, fine. That's why you gotta cross-check, baby. You gotta look at your sources. Gotta look at your sources. Your sources were full of shit. All right. If we were doing these, if we did Play Retro, I would love. I so often think about this. Man, I wish Play Retro was a monthly podcast where we could just spend a month deep diving, getting interviews, calling up old game developers, getting stories. That's what I would really like to see, but it's just not what we really do. Retro Matt is here. What's up, Retro Matt? Everybody give my good friend Retro Matt a follow on Kick, if not here on Twitch. It is Retro Matt. Let's see if I can get this in here. What is going on, my friend? How are you doing? Also a great retro gamer. Have you had a chance to play any more? Oh my god, I almost died. So I've missed so many. I've missed so many Achievos. On my world championship, I haven't been playing. Don't die, almost died. It was terrible. Tess says, I wish you guys could go full retro. I wish I could too, man. I mean, I think there would be ways to do it. But you know, can't really make a retirement plan off Play Retro. Could certainly have a good time though. Kind of like some of those job offers I get from time to time. I don't know if you're like me. If you work in the tech industry, this is the truth. Let me tell you. I don't know if I can't speak to other industries, but I can speak to mine. I work in the IT field. And so often do I get offers to make twice as much money as I'm making now. And it's typically for startups or corporations. And usually the deals are amazing. Sometimes I can work remote. And I'm a full stack developer, essentially, in my day job. So I have opportunities. However, I've done those jobs when I was younger. And those jobs are never stable and never long term. And so you make a lot of money, but then you gotta think about the downtime in between before you get to that next one. Unless you're a mover and a shaker, don't mind moving a lot. I've got family. I can't do it. Yeah, before 10 girl, trust no startup. True story. So yeah, I've had plenty of chances. If I was young, didn't have any family that I was necessarily worried about, staying in touch with. Shoot, man. I mean, moving all over the place. Did when I was young. To make some good money that way. Really can. Only way to significantly improve your financial income is by job hopping. Sad but true. Any job you go into, that job is pretty much locked in, and you have a range typically, and once you hit the top of that range, it's tough. Easy money for a minute, baby. Right? Easy money. Absolutely Retro Matt. I actually had some time off. Got so many streams in. Been playing SMW hacks. Yes. Super Mario. Doing retro achievements. That's how I first found you, I believe, was doing those Super Mario hacks. Yeah, I love my stable, okay paying job. Or good. Maybe good is the right word. It's not great. I could certainly make a lot more money. And if you look at my classification and the pay scale, I am like at the very bottom But also where I live, the cost of living is really low. So, you know, before Tank Girl, start your 401k in retro. Absolutely. So oddly, I just got a Chivo recently. That Chivo is, I am now in the age group that is allowed to do what is called catch up for retirement. So I can throw a little extra in tax free into my retirement. So if I could find a way to do that. IT is a growing thing. I wished I jumped on it. Now is so much to learn, even for me. It's kind of good and bad, Retro Matt. When I started in the IT field, I say I'm a full stack developer because I had to be. That's what you were. That was the only type when I started in the early years of the internet really becoming commercial like it is, like we see it now. I really kind of got my start in like 95, 96, 1995. And so, yeah, I was right there at the beginning, and you had to be a full stack developer. You had to be able to do everything. You had to be able to touch everything, do everything, because you couldn't go to anybody. Most people weren't getting taught practical, in-field IT jobs, right? And so, but now, full stack developer is pretty pointless. You really should be a manager at this point. Project planner. Project planners have no safety. So you've got to specialize. So it's good in the fact that you need to specialize. So that's good. Because that narrows it, right? You get to choose a category and you get to get very intimate with it and get way better at these things than I ever could have, because I just didn't have the abilities to focus on one thing because there was too many fires burning elsewhere. 1995, the before time, the long ago, the way back. So yeah, of course I think AI stuff, anything in the AI field is the way to go, because that's where the jobs are going, right? They're laying people off because they're planning on such a funny transition. So right now what they're doing is a lot of places are laying people off with the expectation and the excuse that AI will be able to replace some of these jobs, right? Now it's not as widespread as it could be, because I think a lot of these companies are quickly finding out, oh yeah, this is limited, very limited. But they start planning, right? So thing is, all those guys and people that you're releasing now, they're going to have to retrain and come back, because they're all going to be AI specialists on the back end, because AI is going to takes people too, right? I mean, it's not a replacement. I mean, now we're going to get rid of repetitive jobs that AI can perform, but now we're going to have people in the background doing repetitive jobs, keeping AI efficient and inexpensive, because AI is expensive as all get out. We haven't even seen how much this costs, and it's going to go down, of course, over time. But right now, it is such a loss. I mean, it is an incredible loss. If you look at how much it costs to do AI stuff, that's really not doing anything. I mean, people aren't really using AI to any full effect. And so that's going to be something somebody's going to pay eventually. So yeah, it is very inefficient right now, and it's fine. It's gonna find its place. We're gonna find the place for it. The laws are gonna get into place eventually. People will be retrained, and it's a big old shuffling. It's a shuffling. Right? Avian says, my half-baked thought is AI is going to be making bank for tort law vis-a-vis IP, right? They're trying to utilize AI at work. It's so bad. It's hilariously terrible right now. I know. Look, Retro Matt, I've been through so many of these. Like I said, I've been working on computers since I was 8 years old, and so I've seen the whole industry. I just watched it from the 70s. Even when I was a kid, I was getting Commodore magazines and getting information about what's going on, and it's always the same thing. New technology comes along, the salesman for that new technology say it's the, this is it, this is the thing we've all been waiting on, right? And they oversell it. And so companies invest way too much trying to get ahead because they don't want to be the last ones in, right? They want to get ahead. And so what happens is you don't get ahead because you think you get ahead because you buy into it. But then when it comes in the actual production and actually implementation doesn't fulfill. And so you have to, you have to start to patch it. You have to patch stuff in. And people get mad and it's frustrating and it's foolish. It's foolish to jump in this early with AI thinking that you can actually do productive work. Now is a good time to have a team or a small group of people in your company to see what is possible with AI and to make recommendations for the long term. But way too many people are jumping and going, this is it, it's going to change everything, it's going to do this, and it is. And it's a destructive technology in the fact that it is disrupting the market, but it's not necessarily going to be the answer. We're going to muddle along, and people have to back a little bit, they're going to roll back a little bit, but it'll figure itself out. It'll get there. But yeah, I can imagine. I saw it as soon as I saw AI stuff, and I started seeing I can see the buzz is coming up. I can see the buzz. I've seen it enough times. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to be good. And I just immediately said, okay, that's it. I told my boss, I said, look, our ID department is about to get hit. I said, it's already in our ears, and it's going to start making its way into the, to mass media, and people are going to start hearing it to have no idea what it is. And they're going to be afraid. They're going to have some questions. And I said, we need to spend the time. So I did. I spent the time. I spent 6 months just doing any free time that I had to futz around with AI. Not be scared of it. I don't have time to be scared of anything. I've got to figure out what it can do. It had to be realistic. What can it do? What can it not do? And I did every test I could think of. And my conclusion at the end of it, before they even asked for the first time, before they even came up and went, because I knew it was coming. When if I did, they come up and they said, "Oh, what can we do? I've been hearing all this stuff about AI. What can we do with it in our company?" And I was like, "Well, it could do this, this, and this, and it can't do this, this, and this." And you can immediately see the look on their face, like, "Oh, well, it can't do none of that. Then what's the point?" And I said, "Exactly. We're not there yet. We've got a plan. We're following it, and when it becomes viable, I'll let you know ahead of time." But yeah, you gotta. Oh man, I can't stand. And every once in a while, somebody will come in and they'll start trying to push in and stuff, and I'm like, I have to push back. I have to be more knowledgeable. I have to be more knowledgeable than the moron coming in saying this is what's going to happen. Retromat says, is as much as I would love to get paid for something to do my job for me, it's actually causing me to have to work more on the admin side, which is exactly what's going to happen. You're gonna have with AI, you're gonna be shifting jobs. You're just moving around a little bit. Every time a new technology comes along, sometimes there's jobs that are lost. There are jobs that are lost, and then there's new jobs that are created, and that's not always necessarily on the same level. And sometimes, anytime they can take advantage of that, anytime there's a shift in market labor, the companies are going to try to take advantage of that. And it's our responsibility is the laborers, make sure that we're up and ready. Shift, pivot, tell them to kiss our ass. Oh man, but yes, Ava, you being silly. What you being silly? I am not imagining Brian as a semi-retired consultant. Help! Yeah, our system does not work anymore because it runs off a Fortran. Brian, come in. Keystroke system runs. That would be 6. Yeah. So what I think a lot of our financial department still runs on COBOL. So I mean, the back end stuff. When it comes to money counting, all them corporations, they get real serious. They don't want to take no chances with that. They ain't ready to touch that, baby. They chicken when it comes to that. When it comes to customer service, yeah, sure, let's try it out. But yeah, I have a feeling I've done consultation. That's kind of where I'm at now. Once you get to a certain point in your career, whatever you're doing, your greatest value is your experience. And that's so disheartening for people who are it's disheartening for people who like to, like the process. I picked this career because some of it came natural, so it felt good in that way. But also it created a satisfaction of problem solving. And now my problem solving is a different way. Now it's like I've got to find the best person to solve the problem. So my problem now is finding the best contractor lots of times to solve the problem. That's not the problem I wanted to solve. I wanted to crunch numbers. I want to work with arrays. I want to work with conditional statements. That stuff makes me happy. I feel like I'm creating something. So, but now I've got enough experience that I can make the recommendations, and my time. I'm way more valuable for my employer. Finding somebody who can do the things, because I have the vision, because I have the experience. Right. The problems of being a technical manager, right, Scott? Right, Mr. Fletcher? Right. Be a force multiplier. But yeah, that's kind of how it is in the IT field. That's from the beginning to end, from the time that I was 8 years old to the time that I'm the age I am now. Just progressing, spending many years where I was working 16 hours a day, learning tech stuff, just learning everything I can learn, everything that's related and not related, just to continue to build up my brain. I went to the eye doctor when I was in my 20s, and I had just had Andrew, my oldest son, and I literally was working. I would go to work all day. There was no schools. It was only the school of hard knocks. Those schools for what I was doing in my day job. There was none of that. So I'd go home and I'd go to the school of hard knocks, baby. I'd go to the school of Alta Vista. Load up my AOL. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't have an AOL disc. I had a dual channel ISDN. But yeah, just a constant learning of everything. We're playing the SNES version now of this game. As you can tell, it's arcade pretty good. It's not arcade perfect. It's arcade, not bad. Amy says, oh God, Brian, do not say Alta Vista. Alta Vista. Mosaic. How can I make you feel old today? Oh yeah, Scott Fletcher, Alta Vista was my go-to. It was the best before Google. Dude, it was so freaking good. But I liked Yahoo too as well. I remember for a while, once Yahoo really kind of started taking off, I really saw the curation part of it. I was actually kind of really disappointed when I really liked being able to get the answers I was looking for on Google, but I did not like that we started, the less curated it became, the less I liked it. Eek. I got it. So old. My bones, they ache. Back in the mid-90s, I was Xavier, absolutely. Oh, good. It didn't blow up the little, didn't blow up my little thing. That's good. It's out Tiger Balm. Oh my God. Tiger Balm. I love that they kept the anime running animation. I hate Google now. But you know what I hate even more? I hate when I can't find the answer I'm looking for on DuckDuckGo. Because then I have to go to Google. And so many times is some dumbass thing that I gotta go find that ends up being on Reddit. Basically, Google is just a Reddit searcher. I don't know why I just don't go to Reddit and just do a search there. I don't know why. Of course, lots of times I end up I just go use ChatGPT just to ask some stupid, like if there's an error message or something, I'll go there and it prettifies everything, right? Just but yeah, man, I get so mad at Google with their promote. I mean, it used to be one thing when it was like one or two promote things at the top of the results, but now it's like you got to go what they used to call below the fold in the newspaper. Well, I really am old now, aren't I? So you go below the fold, and it's like, oh my god, how many? Gotta scroll down a whole page. Oh, he stabbed me. Right? True story, Scott Butcher. Stack Overflow used to be the go-to answer place, and I kind of wish it was still. Because, man, Reddit screws up the algorithm so bad. The algorithm. That's a word I've always had trouble saying. Algorithm? Algorithm. I think I read it. I used to say it. Read it. I used to say it in my head when I would read it. And I never said it out loud. Then the first time I ever said it was too late. It was already... Algorithm. It was already too late. It was already in my head. That's 1930 turns, Brian. And it says, I had to look up business articles to explain changes in the stock market. 2 standard deviations. One, if my brain needs a kickstart. To put notes in this. Taz says, I find it strange that Reddit is seen as more reliable as Quora or all other Ask Questions Seek Answers websites. It works for me. Yeah, I will occasionally find Quora in my results, but usually it's about medical. It's like, oh, you know what I really hate? You know what I really hate about Quora? Am I saying it right? I'm not sure. I really hate Quora because it always has these clickbait questions. I don't know what the people asking these questions benefit from these clickbait questions, but it's always shit like stuff you know is not real. It's like, my son and his girlfriend are making out in the pool, and as a parent, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, nobody's asking this. It's always something. This clickbait, though. It's just like, it reminds me of like Jerry Springer or something. Oh, yeah. Reddit has this share, too. But for some reason, that's the only time I get results from Quora and Google. Yeah, it is the offspring of Yahoo Answers, right? Didn't they buy it, or Yahoo bought? Didn't Yahoo Answers buy Quora, and so they just own it and keep it now or something, but they call it the same thing? It always feels like Jerry Springer questions. Every question on Quora feels like it's a Jerry Springer episode. How is baby formed? It's always stupid questions. Stuff that people would not ask of the public. There's no way. There's no way. It's stupid stuff like, my son wants to make out with the dog. What should I do? You know, it's dumb stuff like that. It's always the one that gets the most answers too, though. It's all the attentions. Scott Butcher says Quora can die on fire. You're right. Sounds like a low effort confidence game. But I know it's got full of, I know it's got better things on it. I mean, I've been to the site, so I know it's not all that. I just know that Google only gives me the trash for Quora. And Google only gives me Reddit answers from 2011. And I'm like, dude, this is like 13 years old. Some of those posts on Reddit are older than my retro games. Oh no, he threw it back at me. I didn't know he could do that. We are currently playing the SNES version, as you can tell. Sunset Riders, I like it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, what I don't like about this version, unlike I love how look at the lean, look at the gangster lean they got going on. Heard Google and Reddit says, Habit, what's up, Habit? I heard Google and Reddit are cutting a deal to make Reddit harder for other searches to access. I've heard that as well, and I don't think they're cutting the deal. I think they've already made the deal. And yeah, it just gets worse and worse. And so, the first thing I noticed about ChatGPT, so we talked earlier about, when AI really kind of started buzzing around in IT circles before it really hit like the general population. I was doing some research for all of that, seeing if it would be effective, waiting for the questions to happen. Well, I just shot myself. That was stupid. I do remember that, one of the first things I realized was this is such a better search experience. Oh my God. The search stuff, I was like, oh, this is going to totally replace Google. And then Google come out with their little AI thing, and I tried to look at it because I was like, well, maybe Google can handle this. And then I almost immediately realized, yeah, no one's ever going to usurp ChatGPT. It's got name recognition at this point. It's just so much better. It's like when Microsoft finally realized, oh shit, Google is killing it in the search. We should get in on this. Or, hey, look, Chrome is killing the browser market. We should get on this. And they always come with so much baggage. It's too much baggage, and they can never make it stick, right? No one says, let's go Bing it. No one says that because that's not a thing. But yeah, Google, I immediately realized, I'm like, oh, Google's got too much baggage to make a good search replacement, and they're about to lose it. There's going to be a way that ChatGPT is going to it's just too simple. If I was starting out today, and I'm working in the tech fields, this is where it starts, in the tech field. If I'm in the tech field and I'm trying to find answers to programming questions, I'm not going to Google, because Google's just going to feed me Reddit. And Reddit doesn't give answers. Reddit gives discussion, because they need almost as much engagement trash as all the other social media crap, right? So the things that create the engagement are the things that work. But I don't need engagement. I need answers. Scott says, sure, Microsoft, let me escort you a song from my Zune. Maybe says, let's go, Bing Bong. That's 6,000. Thanks. Habit, I've been using DuckDuckGo recently. I still love DuckDuckGo. I try to make it my default go-to, but once again, when I'm looking for specific... So, most of my searches at work are going to be related to very specific things. So someone will say, oh, my printer doesn't work, but I get a blue screen, or something like that. I read logs. I know how to do that kind of stuff, and that's what I do. I look at the logs, and I can tell what's going on. However, I don't know what those logs mean sometimes. It's like the message may be there, and I'm like, oh, I need more information for this. So usually what I Google search or search for at work, which is where I do most of my searching at, is going to be direct, specific questions about an error message. And DuckDuckGo just doesn't do a very good job at that. Now, if I'm looking to learn more about a particular subject, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. If I'm looking for an image, I don't know when Google got so weird, but Microsoft doesn't mind stealing stuff. So, image search, hit in the Bing. Hit in the Bing, baby. DuckDuckGo, if I'm not in a hurry to get information, but I'm just trying to learn more about a subject, yeah, use Brave. I use Brave browser. FreeSpoke, yeah, those are good places too. Once again, those are great things when I'm doing, research for my own self and I got like a larger idea. If I'm looking for something specific though, I have yet to find anything that can outdo Google until ChatGPT. Now, with that being said, if ChatGPT can't figure out the result for me the first time around, if I ask the question and it's like, okay, here's a simplified answer, this was what's going on. If it can't figure it out the first time, it ain't gonna figure it out. You can keep asking the same dumb question in different ways. This is gonna keep spitting out the same dumb answer. Habit says, I heard something weird about Brave. Weren't they doing something a little sus? Man, every time there's something the best thing since sliced bread, there's always somebody doing something wrong. And also, it's hard to tell. We used to call it FUD. Back in the day. Oh, Jezebel says, I use Google and Google Gemini. They're the best, in my opinion. Very good. What was I going to say? Mark McAllister, what is up? Anything cool happening with your work, Brian, with AI? Professional gig. So, Mark, very good question. So during the daytime, I work in the IT field, and nothing too really interesting with the AI because it's just not really applicable in what we're doing. Some of the simple AI stuff, like the stuff that's wrapped in with particular software that's already, that we already subscribe to, like Microsoft 365, some of the Adobe stuff. But as far as standalone AI kind of stuff, there's nothing. Almost everything we do at work is either going to be specific to software that is tailor-made for the specific task, or it's going to be an Excel document. And so, and most of the time they're really, they're just handcrafted by individuals who have a grasp on Excel, and there's just no place to really squeeze it in, right? There's not, in my opinion, where I work at, enough resources to be too forward thinking. Where I work at is a government funded work environment, so you can't get too crazy. Everything moves at a slower pace. And there's just not there's not nearly enough planning, in my opinion. And I push for this all the time. I'm like, we need more planning. We need more planning. We're only given the time to do the actual job and keep people productive. We're not allowed to improve because of time, not because they don't want us to. We can't do it because of time or resources. We can't improve the work environment like we'd like to. And I talk to them all the time, like, oh man, we could make this so much better for people, and we could make people enjoy their job so much better if we had the resources to make it happen. Yeah, avian planning was that. And I tell them all the time, and there's a couple of parts we've missed. We only do the actionable part, which is the part people see. The most important parts, if you're a programmer, you kind of know this. I can't speak for other fields, but as a coder and a programmer, that's where I got my start at. You know, you got to do your planning, you got to do your testing, you got to put it into production. That's the part people see, and you got to do your follow up, man. You can't set it and forget it. I try to tell these people all the time. They're like, "Oh, we need this, this, and this," and they only see the problem in immediate terms. And they're like, "How long will it take us to do this?" And I'm like, "Well, it'll take us this long to do it. However, this application that we're creating in-house will have a tail on it that we'll always have to maintain because the infrastructure that is set on will change and it's going to need maintenance. And we've got to watch it. We've got to collect logs. We've got to, have it send out notifications. We got to do an annual review on it. And it's like, no, we just need to put it in place. We just need to put it in place, get it done. And so we can check it off. So we can check it off on our list of things that we need to get done. Check. Scott says we call it birthing new animals into our zoo, right? That's what you got to do, man. You gotta birth it, man. You gotta maintain it. And people come from other companies that, they come from corporate environments, and we come into our government-funded environment, and they're like, "Oh, the last place we had this type of thing," and it's like, cool. I wish we could do that, man, but we can't because of security issues. Right, Amy? Brian, can I hire you as my project manager? Absolutely. I hate that my experience has gotten me to a point that I'm good at project management. It sucks because I love doing projects. Unfortunately, it's the most unstable job out there. If they're going to cut anybody, they're cutting the project manager. That might as well be middle management. I get to run around with my hair on fire. I know that feeling. I'm telling them all the time, dude, we can't make any progress because you guys won't give us anything. But I get it too, because I look up at I always say this. This is something that I have found to be true for me in my experiences. Someone will say, "Oh, the boss man's a real pill, man. He sucks." And I'm like, is it the person or is it the job? And luckily, the place that I work at now, I got to see that I actually knew the person who ended up moving into the position. And when he moved into the position, he did become the things that people hate. But I knew that it wasn't him, it was the job. So I was able to identify it. I'm like, okay, that's part of the job. Any new person coming in will become that because that's the job. And that sucks. Because he has people he has to answer to as well. But yeah, man, wouldn't it be great if we could, make all the money decisions so we can have all the resources we want and make it perfect? Yes, it would. But that's not my job. My job is to complain and bitch until they get the money. Right before take girl, the manager gets the blame. And that's what I'm always telling them. Like, look here, I'm here for you too, man. I'm trying to make sure that you don't get in trouble. So I'm always telling them, I'm like, look, this is how it's going to go down. Because I've seen it enough times. I can tell you, if we don't do this, I kind of feel like I'm Spock over here. I'm always like, well, we may be. It's like there's a 0.4% chance that in the first year it's going to fail completely, but by the year 5, we're getting 75%. Captain, right? Give all the credit, take all the blame. Managers. Habit says, "Oh, I looked up the Brave browser thing. Apparently, it was inserting referral links for some crypto exchange. 2 days after it was found, they stopped." Right. So how do those things get into place? Right? How does that slip through? At the end of the day, Brave requires resources, financial resources to make it worthwhile to continue development, right? It's not a altruistic endeavor. They've got to make money. The question is, have they made smart decisions and found a way to maintain themselves and to be honest about it? That's one thing I find the most true in a lot of these companies that end up doing questionable things. They're never honest about their current situation, and they can't be sometimes because it's like they got responsibilities to make sure that people in their employ they feel secure, right? It's a tough place. But yeah, then they make questionable decisions. If you're making those questionable decisions, you've got a problem. Abbott says, right, Firefox, which I use, has ads in the default page, which is what I prefer. Be honest about your models. I mean, that's how we are here, right? I mean, we're all honest. It's like, how do you guys support this community that I lead? You guys, clearly, you guys always see the subs on here on Twitch. If you're on Kick, you'll see the subs there. I mean, I don't think I think my Patreon shows the number of people I have. I mean, there's transparency for the most part. There's a little bit of not transparency in some areas, but what am I supposed to do? Put that out there and get doxxed? Can't do that. So anyway, point is, just be honest about the business model. That's what I prefer. That's why I like Apple. They're a little too honest. Hey, a little too honest. A little too honest with that 99-cent cloud charge. Hey, we give you 5 gigs and we by default turn on the backup for everything. And if you don't turn on the back off, the iCloud thing, we're going to pester shit out of you. Until you give us our 99 cents. How are we making money? The 99 cents on everybody. Everybody. Brian ain't hiding nothing. You seeing it right here. I put this shit on display all the time. You all see my habit. You all see my retro habit. I show it off. I'm like, look at this crap. I didn't think we bought this. You think this came out of the Brian day job money? Heck no. How about this? You bought this? You let me explore all this stuff and then I report back on it. Brian with the savagery, baby. Ooh, yes. We should definitely, crowdfund a plane ticket for Brian to get Scott going. Let's go. Oh, man, best practice. I talk about best practice all the time. Mark says, I listened to the Play Retro today where Scott was talking about building that arcade cabinet. I'm really hoping he tackles the project with your help. He's been talking about it for years. He has been. And I've been trying to talk him out of doing what I think would make it no fun. And so, like, if he's just going to go in there and throw in like if he's not going to do a real arcade board in there, which I think is kind of foolish. If you only have one arcade machine in your house, that game better be the best damn game, or it better have the ability to play more than one game. So he's going to take the arcade cabinet that his dad is one of the arcade cabinets that his dad built, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And he's going to clean it up and replace parts on it. And he's mentioned in the past, he's kind of like thinking like he wants like a multi-machine kind of something in there that would like kind of do like like a Raspberry Pi, like a Retro Pi. And I'm like, oh, don't do a Retro Pi. I mean, that's so blah. The experience is going to be blah. You need a Mister, some FPGA JAMA board action. You need that stuff to be authentic. Scott had real experience. And this is one of the discussions we've been having on the Discord server. On frogpants.com/Discord in the Play Retro channel, we've been having this discussion about why should I FPGA? Why should I do that? And that's just for hardcore nerds, right? It's just as good. Now you'll notice that when we stream, typically I'm just using what's called Batacera. And that's because it gives me the ability to do retro achievements. It allows me to quickly move through a library, and it allows me to play games. I am not super concentrating on any of these games when we're playing. I'm getting a general experience So if the timing's not quite right, it's okay. You can't play on hard mode and have a conversation with 20, 30 people or more. Can't do it. So, but you can get a general idea and experience like you would with a friend who's on the couch with you. And that's what we're doing. We're on our virtual couch. We're shooting the shit, having a good time, playing some video games. But as a solo experience on an arcade machine, I want that thing to be just like I remember it. I need the timing to be just like it was, meaning that if it has a glitch timing or if there's a slowdown in a certain part, I want that nostalgia hit. And the only way to get it is to get that timing right. That's where FPGA comes into play. That is a very personal experience. It's a, and that's what Scott's looking for. Scott's looking for that nostalgic hit. I don't think he's looking to play a bunch of games he didn't play. Like here, we're playing a bunch of games we didn't play. We don't know if the timing's bad. Doesn't matter. Scott, he wants a real experience. So to me, he needs to get a Mr. FPGA. Now, the new Mr. What is it? The Mr. Cade? The new Mr. Cade, Mr. Add-ons, is essentially a JAMA board. And if you don't know what FPGA is, it's essentially hardware emulation. These chips, these FPGA chips, are an array that can be programmed, and so they function identical to the original processor's chips that they're trying to emulate, and they can emulate multiple chips on one processor. $500 some odd. Sounds very expensive, but when you're talking about arcade games and JAMA boards and stuff, it's not that bad. Yeah, what's up, Shankbuster? So to me, he should do that. He should get something like a Mr. Cade and really just have that really true authentic experience. Get some really good controllers and some buttons in there, and just do it up. Do it up. It's still gonna be cheaper than buying a freaking one game system, and it's gonna be way better than like an arcade 1-up or something. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Mark, get away from that Raspberry Pi, baby. I guess the Raspberry Pi is great if you're playing if you're retro gaming and you're wanting to do some, you're like, hey, you know what, I want to do some retro gaming. I want to play a few games never played before. Basically taking this, a little sample, a taste test. Raspberry Pis are great for that. Retro Pis are great because you can throw a bunch of ROMs on there. There's sets out there. They're easy to set up. Just throw that crap on there. Now, what I've got, I like. I have an Atari VCS, which was on sale as the Labor Day weekend, by the way. I don't think I've announced it anywhere, but I bought mine. I think I paid about $200 for my Atari VCS. It's a mini PC, and it's a fairly good machine. It's got a small form factor. Comes with this Xbox style controller, and it rechargeable. And it comes with this really cool arcade, this really cool, stick here, right? It comes with two of those. I'm sorry, it comes with these two controllers. Excuse me. And dude, you can put a Batistera on a thumb drive, and you can do all these cool effects. You can do this. You can do all these really cool bezel effects with it. CRT looking stuff. Super simple. What a great way and a great experience. Retro achievements. It's got all the bells and whistles. Is the timing accurate? Absolutely not. Who cares? I'm here to sample and taste and get a general experience. Because you know why? When we do the Play Retro show, I'm not sitting there talking about the timing and how special the experience was back in the day, because most of the games I didn't play. Gun, it says, oh, right in the back, we are playing the Sega Genesis Mega Drive version of Sunset Riders now. Not even close to the arcade version, right? Well, that little burn up looks pretty good. That's pretty close to the original graphic there. Okay, oh, achievement unlocked. I'm a deputy, baby. No! Take that and that. Oh, I gotta wrap it now. Yeah. Woo. Those little chickens. Oh, chickens always mean stampede, right? A little money. I got the gap here. Yep. Oh. I don't think there's any ladies in this one. I don't, because every time I've seen these guys pop out with a dynamite, it's a dude. It's what? It's a dude. Shankbuster, how is our Wednesday, Thursday going? Oh, here comes Stampede. Stampede! Sexist. A real machine gun Kelly. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, come on. Oh, that's dynamite. Oh, I lost 1,000? What's this, Sonic? Oh, there we go. There's our double guns. There we go. Oh, man. The good news, though, is unlike the SNES, you can at least continue where you're at. That's probably the biggest pitfall of the SNES version, even though it is superior in many ways. It does not have a continue. You have to start back over on the levels. And that can be a big old fat bummer. Here comes the Stampede. Marvacast says sprite work in the arcade version. This is beautiful, specifically the fire and smoke effect. Oh, so good. That whole, it was just at the height of sprite work, right? We were at the end of sprite work and heading quickly towards 3D. Oh my gosh, how are you supposed to escape that? Oh, now let's get over there. Oh my gosh. Now they're loading up the screen, boy. Help me. What about me, lady? Oh. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. I did it. Ugh, that voice. Yeah, that fire and smoke effects, man. Like when you blow up that how his lips are so purple. You may need to see a doctor about that. They lean into the purple. That was the other thing too. This one's a lot. Oh, come on. This is a lot darker than the arcade version, which has a lot of fluorescence, right? Bank. Making the bank. Wow. Come on, I need that bullet. Take that in one of these. Get off me, man. Just hit across the top. Oh, I failed. Oh my gosh. That was some Donkey Kong shit right there. Okay, so there is an ending, right? There is a toy in Ken Tank Tack. What is? I think it was writing something to me there. But the one thing that I'm most interested in here, though, is you can do a 2-player, but you also can do a versus mode. I don't have any friends to do that, so oh well. Favorite food and drink: beefsteak. Milk. Favorite word: courage. I don't think we get this. Did we get this in the other one? I don't think we get a descriptive there, do we? I don't think so. Also, we didn't look at the manual in this Genesis version. Let's see if we have. We do have the game manual. Very good. Oh, look at that artwork. Who is the artist on this thing? Do we get a name here? Look at the muscles. Look at the muscles on that guy. Some very offensive Native Americans at a horse. I don't even understand what's going on right now. Look at that. It's amazing. There's our Konami game hint and tip line. Buffalo Grove. 70 cents per minute charge. Let's take a look at this. Konami has the Konami game hint and tips line. 1-900, it's 900 number. Spelt out hint. 70 cents per minute charge. Minors must have parental permission before calling touch tone phone required. Interesting. So that official seal is your assurance that the product meets the highest quality standards. So Konami incorporated limited warranty. Okay, that's good. Congratulations, hombre. You've now joined the two-man posse of sharpshooters out to rid the West of human vermin. Strap on your spurs, lock and cock your guns, then mosey through these instructions. This may be my intro for this week. Table of contents, versus play. Okay, here's the versus play. So I'd like to read more about that. Here's our characters, though. Enter a time when justice is dispensed with revolvers. Billy or Kamano, the dusty badlands of the Wild West are crawling with more than just snakes, salamanders, and prairie dogs. They're nasty vermin like the low-down bandito Paco Loco, the bankrupt banker Simon Greedwell, and that dapper English Diablo, Sir Richard Rose. Each has a hefty price on his head. There can be no peace in the valleys till the bounty hunter hit the trail. How to hunt varmints. Billy, believed to be the fastest gun in the West, and Cormano, rifle marksman extraordinaire, are ready to ride. The reward for success is cold, hard cash. The reward for failure is cold, hard tombstone pizza. You step right into that old-timey language. How to hunt varmints. Insert the game cartridge in the Sega Genesis system. Blah, blah, blah. Dueling bounty hunters. The versus mode. Okay, here we go. You can adjust the difficulty level, number of player lives, and the control button. Use the D button to make any changes you want. To hear a sound. Oh, interesting. The D button, huh? You mean the D-pad? The D button. They call it a D button. Okay. Interesting. ABC. Dueling bounty hunters, the versus mode. Number of wins, one revolver icon equals one win. The versus mode, so you kind of mosey on down. The versus mode allows you to practice your draw. Okay, so it's the practice mode. Allows you to practice your draw and gunfighting moves on each other. To play, first make sure both controllers are plugged into the Sega Genesis system. Then assign each player a bounty hunter with a... Oh! Okay. With a D button. Then press A, B, or C button. Now just aim and fire. Each hit you take reduces your damage meter by 1 unit. When the meter runs out, so do you. This is a best out of 3 round shootout. The loser has to sweep out the bunkhouse and scrub down the outhouse. I appreciate a good investment into the time period. I appreciate that. Got to get that D-pad. Rules of the range. Once you're out of the outlaw's trail, to take only 1 bullet hit from another trap or any other trap, enemy obstacle to put you 6 feet under. True story. There's your D button. I don't like it called a D button, though. It's definitely a C-pad. I mean, it's a D-pad. Not a C-pad. The Chattahoochee Choo-Choo. Check out the terrain tumbleweed. Reach Forum Gulch. I love these names. All right, so you didn't get this at the arcade, right? The Reach Forum Gulch. The Chattahoochee Choo-Choo. So fun to do an arcade conversion because there's usually very little story, and you get to, like, make your little backstory here. TP City. It's called TP City. The Indians of this village used to enjoy friendly relations with the settlers, but a serious translation error during the toast at a potluck get-together caused hostilities to erupt. Chief Scalpum, oh my god, has led numerous raids on surrounding towns, and he must be stopped. Powder Keg Pines and the Rose Mansion. So they've definitely dropped a few levels here. So we only got 4 levels here? Okay. Finders, keepers, items, and icons. Bullet, dynamite, gun, leather pouch, coin, star. Allows to enter the bonus level at the end of the stage. Don't forget to grab this. Okay. Wild's most wicked worms. Definitely a lot fewer, right? Oh, so the Chief Scalpum. Is that supposed to be... Okay, the guy... Okay. Okay, the Sega Genesis cartridge is intended for use exclusively for the Sega Genesis system. Do not bend it, crush it, submerge it in liquids. Do not leave it in direct sunlight or near radiator or another source of heat. Be sure to take an occasional recess during gameplay. Okay. Pretty short book. Little short book. Get your game on. Get your game on. Let's see if our Nintendo writers, by the way, I worked at Blockbuster, and Nintendo was not a fan of the rental market. One way they sued Blockbuster was because of the copies of the game manual. Renters would often lose the game manual, so Blockbuster had an initiative to photocopy the game manuals, because they were not on good terms with people like Nintendo, who didn't want them renting out their games and taking down their sales. They found a way to sue Blockbuster, not for game rentals, which they also sued for, and they did not win, but they started suing them about the game manual copies. Didn't work, but they tried. Ooh, look at this. Yeah, I like the manual already. It's better. It's got the official Nintendo seal of approval. Naughty Blockbuster. But it's got holes in it. All right. Here we go. We got the entire crew here. Saddle up, hombre. The dusty badlands, the Wild West are crawling with more than just snakes, scorpions, and prairie dogs. Interesting, went with scorpions. They're low-down, cheating vermin, like the Bandito Poco Loco, the bankrupt bankers Simon Greedwell, and the dapper English Diablo Sir Richard Rose. Pops the screen, level control. Difficulty level can be adjusted. Shot, jump, sliding. So you can do sliding and stuff. Okay. I think you just did like a 45-degree angle slide on the Sega, on the D button. Ugh. Realistic bullet hole dingbats. Let's see here. If you start on one-player mode, a second player can still join in any time by pressing the start button. All right. Okay, there's the A. So we got 4 face buttons. So the SNES was definitely, it had more face buttons, right? And it had the 2 trigger buttons before the 6 button come into play for the Sega Genesis, which it did because of all the fighting games, right? Fighting games love 6 buttons. 4 button face plus 2 bumper buttons for this guy. Let's see here. A, slide, must be pressing control pad at a diagonal and down. B, jump. Y, shoot weapon. And nothing for the top button? Interesting. So we didn't need any more. But at least have a select. Pause during game. You can't pause the Genesis, right? Or could you hit the start button, maybe? I'm not sure. Here's some hints and tips, amigo. Y'all can pick up them there sticks of dynamite and pitch them back. Did that. You can jump on rooftops by holding. Did that. Try going into buildings for extra bonuses. Did that. There are a couple of sheriff's badges. Did that. Bonus level. Here's a good way to make a few pieces of gold. Did that. So we didn't miss anything. Consumer support. Hey, look at this. Konami also offered Super Nintendo help on the 1-900-896 hint line. Same stuff. Same stuff. And this was the out of the Konami. Okay. All right. Both books very short. Not bad. Not bad. Hey, look, it's 9:02. How are you? I hope you're having a great Wednesday, Thursday. I know I had a great time hanging out with you guys tonight, as always. There could be a check back tomorrow night. I typically try not to stream on Thursday nights when Core is on. Core is our sister show to the Play Retro show over on the Frog Pants Network with Scott Johnson. And so we don't want to mess those guys up, right? So, Mark, absolutely. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Before Tank Girl, Scott Fletcher. Bet they used dudes to reuse the sprites. Dude, they did. You know they did. We talked about that earlier, probably so. Shankbuster, was good talking to you. Tex, always. Tex has been helping us out on YouTube. If you're not following me on YouTube, you really should. And there was that YouTube, was it youtube.com/ it's the Brian Dunaway on there. And so do that and give us some watches, because we're trying to get to 3,000 watch hours. You don't have to do it all by yourself, but if you turn on a video and watch it, that'll get us a little further towards our goal, which is lava tubes. Lava tubes. That gets a little closer to our goal, which is to get some of those. We need all the things. We need little icons and all the good stuff. We need to get the bonuses. We need all the little emojis and stuff, right? We want to do all that. Ooh, Ultraman TV on Tokyo Shoutcast. Ooh. Not seeing John or Bo. That's the other part of Core. Those are my good buddies. Scott, John, and Bo all doing the Core probably tomorrow night. Should be doing that. I don't see not a single. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't like the new raid function on Twitch. And I know it's almost not new anymore because I can't find any of my people. Bo is on? How come he's not in my list? I don't like it. He is on. Why is he not in my list? All right. We're going to raid in on Bo Schwartz, who is playing Space Marine 2. He's in the waiting room. This looks like Team Fortress 2. What is he playing? I haven't played this game. I'm enjoying Deadlock. Space Marine 2 waiting room. Interesting. Not retro, but it is Bo Schwartz. Good friend of ours. And Shankbuster is already over there. So we're going to run over and meet up with the Shankbuster. So let's get our raid on. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday 30s. Zoe! I didn't see you there. Hope you had a great night. Saw you earlier, but you started lurking. That's perfect. Because you know why? Lurky's numbers. Lurkies are the numbers. Let's raid in on our good friend. Let's do it. See you guys tomorrow.